Yo, what up? What up? What up? Y'all know the deal, man. Like and share, like and share, like and share, so we get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world you could be, just be right here with me, the BABG OG, and I appreciate you pull up on me. What's going on, man? Sorry about in the building. And today I am joined. Let me change this real quick, brother. We don't want your government out here. Motherfucker be weird. There we go. By my brother, LR in the building. What's up, brother? What's going on with you, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. So basically, man, this is the thing I'm starting. We'll do this like every Thursday. We're gonna have some controversial topic going on. I thought we'd start it off right with this whole FBA and these Somali immigrants and everything and all this stuff going on. What's your familiarity with the FBA topic, brother, and the immigration problem in Minnesota?
Well, so I know the specific to the Minnesota situation is they've uncovered a fraud situation where about right now they estimate up to about 70-ish indictments coming, but so far they've indicted 59 people in this fraud controversy. Kind of stimulated during the pandemic. People took advantage of some loose monetary policy and programs to use programs via welfare and other nonprofits to scam a lot of money. And the culprits primarily make up of about a good bit of the Somali community. So that's what I understand about the fraud scam
Yeah,
so
man.
far.
Cool. Yep. Right on, man. Almost exactly, what I mean, to the T what's going on. And specifically for the fraud, two programs were SNAP benefits thing or Feed the Children programs where they were claiming they had, so they were feeding kids in the community. That was hundreds of millions of dollars in fraud. And then the autism thing, right? As to where I think they say autism claims in Somalia over like the last 5 years is just ridiculous, man. What makes it so crazy is this was being talked about, as you can look about here, last year, even way before Trump was even in office. Let's see, let me share my screen right here. So as you can see, watch this, right? FBI investigates Minnesota autism centers, which have exploded in growth since 2018. This was written in June 18, 2024, right? Of course, Minnesota reform, and this is that area. And it basically goes on to tell you, again, the people who diagnose and treat people with autism spectrum disorder has increased 700% in the past 5 years, climbing from 41 providers to 218 I'm sorry, in 2018 to 328 to 2023. This was written in 2024. The amount paid to providers during that time has increased 3,000% from about 6 million to nearly 192 million dollars, man. So, people always talk about, right, how we shouldn't be worried about, it's not your money and all these different things and so on and so forth. But this is what happens when people don't understand politics, economics, all these different things. Hundreds of millions of dollars that are going to a certain area is being taken away from Americans, right? And I know, and a lot of these people are naturalized, right? But that's another question that's coming up now. Yeah, but and I think a lot of people understand it, or we never had to have a conversation about people getting citizenship illegally, right? It's alleged or suspected that a certain congressperson may have marry a sibling in order to get them, citizenship. If that was to be true, that would be illegal, and that would be grounds for both of those people, not just the person that was married to get the citizenship, but if the other person is naturalized, also participating in fraud for citizenship, could be denaturalized themselves. So I think this is a huge stone being unturned, And people are, of course, looking at the racial aspects of it. Oh, it's just because they black and all these different things. Well, the thing is, can you show me the other group of people? Can you show me the Japanese or the Korean or the Indian or the Arab or whoever, you know what I'm saying, that's doing something on the same magnitude or at the same rate? But, of course, it's just easy just to call out racism.
Yeah, that's typically a lazy argument. So the other issue with the fraud, right, is and you touched on it when you talked about the rise in autism facilities is how do you handle the nature of a crisis, right? And so when we go through COVID and everybody all of a sudden the mental health issues on the rise, then somebody needs to treat it, and so you get a demand surge for this type of this type of uh, healthcare or whatever, right? But when the demand surge, the rules on who can provide are not as strict, maybe, and so you had those. It was ripe for fraud. The other aspect is the remittance aspect of specifically the Somali immigrants, right? Because remittances is those Somalis who are living in Minnesota working, right, and then they're sending that money back to Somalia, and so that's been the other issue. And some of that remittance has gone to a terrorist organization,
Sure.
Al Shabaab,
Yeah.
and so the other aspect is this was brought up to Governor Walz and A.G. Ellison back in 24, and I think the councilman Usman was actually at the hearing getting grilled and everything, and so this was a big deal in 2024. It wasn't talked about. Uh, One, because he was a VP candidate too, so and Kamala had an uphill battle in her quote unquote 107 days to take over from Biden. So there was just a lot of incentive to keep this under wraps during the election season, and now this exposure is kind of putting a black eye on Minnesota.
Well, no, I think that's clearly another thing too. Like, hey, if your side has power or your side had the influence, right? We clearly seen this. The Department of Justice, the president pretty much targets who he wants to go after and who he wants to ignore, right? So that's what we're seeing here because it's being reported that you know, the people in the office were letting him know, hands down, hey man, this ain't right. Something's not going right. And then there was retaliation against whistleblowers to where as if you said something about it, you were either removed or terminated. So yeah, man, that's just how crazy it gets. But let me address this super chat real quick. Appreciate you, brother Prince Revolver, for the 2. Appreciate you. Oh, that's right. Hold on. Ain't nothing but some money. Chinese illegals constantly go under the radar. No, not so much. I don't know if you remember this. They uncovered a whole Chinese fucking government cell in New York, and they had them. They did away with that. But I don't think is that again. It's that it goes under. It's like okay, whenever you're dealing with the federal government, man, they're gonna let you build a certain amount of stuff up before they actually go to it to pin you to the cross. So, but in this case, this was aided and abetted by a blind eye, purposely being told turn from the state level, of course, because Tim Walz is the governor, and then you had the federal level, because like shout out to LR, where he said, hey, this was the person they chose as the running mate. So, what I'm saying, if whatever was going on, they were gonna make sure it was nobody talked about it. We bring up a couple of these, and everybody was mad about this. Appreciate you, brother, for the 2. Everybody was mad about this. These words from the president, of course.
you think he should resign over the fraud scandal in his state?
And who should?
Tim Walz, over the fraud scandal in his state.
Look, I think the man's a grossly incompetent man. I thought that from the day I watched JG destroy him. I was saying, who was more incompetent, that man or my man? I had a man and he had a man. They were both incompetent. And I had a man and a woman. I thought she was very incompetent too, but now she's leading the field. And I think she's leading the field in the nomination. Anyway, look, that's up to them. That's up to the Democrats. You know, the problem with them is they have really bad policy. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want them to change it necessarily because I want to run against it. Whether it's not going to be me, it's going to be somebody that's going to probably sitting at this table. It could be a couple of people sitting at this table. Could be a couple of people running together sitting at this table. You know, but I want that because we've done a great job for this country, and I want that to be carried forward. And you know, I think we have a tremendous bench, really a tremendous bench. But no, I think that Walz is a grossly incompetent man. There's something wrong with him. Okay? There's something wrong with him. And when you look at what he's done with Somalia, which is barely a country, you know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes, but this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're gonna look at, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions.
Yeah, man, again, whenever you're talking about $1 billion of billions of dollars of fraud from federal government funds, bro, they're going to find you out, and they're going to come get that money. I don't even know, you know, who or what thinks they're going to get away with that, but just to blatantly do that the way it was, and they had Buddy, fake ledgers, fake people, all this stuff, hundreds of millions of dollars for the feed the community program, all this stuff uncovered, bro. Listen, man, y'all already know what it is. Go ahead and put him in front of Judge Mathis, brother.
You going to jail. That statement gonna send you to jail.
You are going to jail.
Every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Somebody say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that. We could go one way or the other. And we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Thank you very much.
Now, ironically, this is the same philosophy that the FBA has for the diaspora. They say, hey, man, why y'all got to come over here and, you know, get all this education and do all these things and make all this money? Why not stay in your own country and build that up? Why don't you stay in your own country and be great over there? So I don't know how people mad at Donald Trump if you're totally fine with the FBA. You know what I'm saying that to the diaspora, the rest of our cousins from the continent. That's that's like the biggest contention I have with this, man. This FBA shit to me, bro, is nothing but a joke. I think it's a troll that got too out of control, right? They started it off again. So for the people that don't know, or the FBA people will never admit this, and they don't even know because again, it's a cult, right? ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, was the original movement or whatnot, what have you. I think Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks, they were the founders or the creators of that, the leaders of that organization. Tariq Nasheed started hanging around as he does a lot of things that are popping or hot or whatever, tried to co-opt it. They saw what he's doing, so they didn't allow him to co-opt it. He breaks off. He says and talks about how ADOS is so corny. Tariq Nasheed being the entertainer first that he is, entertainer and businessman and so on and so forth, and brand maker. Turn this FBA thing into a brand. Majority of it was when he first started it was like 99% comedy, and then took all the tenets that had already been built by the foundation of ADOS, and all they did was call people tethers on the internet all day and ask them where their family was from. Okay, if you didn't believe in reparations 10,000% lockstep, you were a tether, and you were problematic. So now we're to this point of where Tariq is being challenged by one of the elders in the pro-black or pan-African movement and so on and so forth. And these tough questions start getting asked, but all the FBA people, all they want to do is motherfucking throw insults, as we can see before the show even started. Before this is the comments of scary niggas is never gonna hit the fucking link, right? All right. Well, yeah. So like this idiot right here, right? Now I'm automatically a tether because I'm fucking challenging this FBA bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, brother. He was respectful, so I ain't talking about him. He said, "Why don't you listen, man? Tariq is doing nothing but comedy. You start hitting Tariq with real questions, he gonna start it and it's gonna turn it into a roast off, and then you start asking them the hard questions, and it's nothing but comedy. And again, we're not ducking no smoke. I'm not on TikTok, but like I said, I don't do the whole. I don't even think I follow Tariq. So if that's the case, when y'all have one of these FBA meetings, I might come through, crash through, whatever. But no serious conversation is gonna be had out of that, man. That's why. Haitians are Haitians, Jamaicans are Jamaicans, FBA is FBA, bro. We've never seen you tethers again, assuming that I'm a tether, right? Which is crazy. This brother right here, probably from motherfucking New York or Chicago or like the West Coast or some shit. It's crazy to me. And try to force Jamaicans to call themselves African Jamaicans. Nobody's trying to force you to do anything, man. Listen. The problem that you guys have is, again, it's no organization, it's no classification. Most black people don't know about it, aren't interested in it, and your biggest claim to fame is starting shit with all the other fucking black people of the world. That's your claim to fame. So no, bro, nobody's buying to that bullshit, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Exactly. Born and raised, smell the roses. Niggas that smell the roses. Let me say this, man. Listen, it's funny to me when you New York niggas, you Chicago niggas, you Ohio niggas, you Cleveland niggas, you LA niggas, you that don't even lit, bro. My whole family, both sides, both of them, okay, is from Georgia, Macon to be exact. So I laugh in the face of people that claim, "Oh, you a tether." Brother, you ain't never seen a hog maw. You feel me? You feel me, LR? You feel me, bro? They trying to challenge my lineage and like, bro, it's still plantations. You know what I'm saying? Like old remnants of plantations, like where my granddaddy them from, bro. What are we talking about? What's your take on it, brother?
Yeah, I just think it's another aspect of grievance culture. It's a group of people trying to collectivize about the past instead of just assimilating around a set of values that yields economic progress. Like, I don't hear them talking about marrying somebody. I don't hear them talking about staying in a job and saving money, investing, funding, building our own schools. I mean, I've heard Umar Johnson talk about that kind of stuff, but notice how he can't seem to get that underway. It's a like you said, it's a troll, it's a scam, and I would even say it's a grift because they're begging, and so they want something back based off some grievances from the past, and you can't even pay for it. So it's a grift and a troll. So that's my biggest take on it.
For sure. Let's get back into these Somalians, man. A couple more of these, and then we'll get deep into the what's name. Shout out to Prince Revolver for the 5. Appreciate you, brother.
ain't nothing but some money.
Are FBAs just another branch of Pan-Africans or in Hebrew Israelites? No. So this is what I'm saying, right? As far as being a classification, yes, or identity group for black people, yes. But as far as no, it's they want to separate themselves from Pan-Africans and say that, hey, pretty much any and everything to do with FBA. And again, now that it's being challenged, they've changed the rhetoric. But I just had a conversation with a proud FBA flag waver that said he has no connections to Africa. He said this. Okay. All right. This skin right here. Okay. See this? See this shit? All right. This right here means somewhere along the lines, nigga, you from Africa. You do that 23andMe, it's gonna have Africa in there somewhere. FBA is saying no, the soul, my lineage started here. All right, and it's just unrealistic, man, on every level, historical level, biological, genealogical level, all these things, man, to where like it just made no sense. But now that it's being challenged, people gotta walk some of the extreme rhetoric back and give some concessions to some things that just clearly can't be denied. So shout out to you, bro. Let's see. Here we go. This is the one I wanted to show. Now again, man, listen. These were the workers and stuff, right? This whole Tim Wall shit. People knew about this, bro, and they let it. They tried. They said, "Shut up."
A scandal of alleged widespread fraud throughout the state of Minnesota has politicians and residents of the state on edge. This comes after prosecutors have charged dozens of people with stealing hundreds of millions of dollars from state-run programs.
An article in the New York Times details some of the cases, as well as how the scandal is affecting the reputation of Minnesota's large Somali population. It reads, over the last 5 years, law enforcement officials say fraud took root in pockets of Minnesota's Somali diaspora as scores of individuals made small fortunes by setting up companies that build state agencies for millions of dollars worth of social services that were never provided. Debate over the fraud has opened new rifts between the state's Somali community and other Minnesotans, and has left some Somali Americans saying they are unfairly facing a new layer of suspicion against them rather than the small group accused of fraud.
Well, it's not. Well, even though it's a small group accused of fraud, how many of you were benefiting from it, and what's the network? See, this is what people love to do, right? They act like, well, it's just a few of us. Well, if the whole city is ran by Somalis, and you had to have forms that were fraudulent and were allowed to get through, the police didn't investigate it, all of these things where we're talking about damn near $1 billion in fraud, bro, that's not a small group. A small group of people don't steal $1 billion from the federal government. I can tell you that right now. Okay, does not happen. And especially when you had people that were outside of the group that, I guess it got to the state level of these numbers. They're like, hey, ain't something's not right here. Yeah, it's not just a small group.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is facing heat for the scandal, too. An ex-account led by employees of the Minnesota Department of Human Services is alleging that Tim Walz knew about the fraud and did nothing to stop it. The account says, in part, Tim Walz is 100% responsible for this massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud. But no, we got the opposite response. Tim Walz systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. As staff, we firsthand witnessed and observed fraud happening, yet we were shut down, reassigned, and told to keep quiet. Sometimes more. Leadership did not want to appear to discriminate against certain communities and were unwilling to take action, such as stopping fraud that would have an adverse impact on their image.
Now,
well, not just an impact on their image, again, re-election. So this is another problem that people don't understand once you get this big of a concentration of people in an area, right? That's a voting block. 80,000 votes. I mean, they got a fucking congresswoman, right? So if you a congresswoman that's promoting anti-American ideology, so this shows you how influential that is. And that's the national level. So that's got to mean something at the state level, right? But if you not only allow but target this group of people, understanding that, and you turn a blind eye to them, digging in the state's motherfucking cookie jar for $1 billion, $1 billion. Shit, what the hell you think gonna happen?
Yeah. So one of the other issue is as they look further into this, I think the AG Ellison, I think he supposedly took some campaign donations from during this fraud from those folks.
Yep, I got this. I got it. I got that queued up next, brother. Great minds. Go ahead though. Keep going.
Yeah, and so there was an incentive to potentially look the other way. One, large voting block, like you said. Two, campaign donations for your AG and potentially Governor Walz. And so you see the motive. I don't think they're gonna. I'm not sure if they're gonna pin anything on the governor, but I could see a little bit more heat coming to the AG and then some of the city council, specifically the Somalian one, Usman, however you pronounce his name. There's going to be a lot more scrutiny on those guys.
Yeah, they're gonna get investigated for sure. 10,000%.
I'm very concerned about it. I don't run the agencies,
Absolutely.
but let me just finish by saying, but often the agencies call on my lawyers to represent them. And so it's good that we're talking because we've been in a series of conversations with Jody Harpstead as late as a week ago on how you cannot crunch down on these, because here's the thing, is as big as you are collectively, most are pretty small. And you're running small, tiny businesses out of business over nothing. And a lot of times, if you think there's a problem, I mean, look, everybody has to comply with what the rules are. But if somebody submits something that's not in the right format, then you call them and say, this is not in the right format. Not you're out, you're done, your contracts are over. And so this has my attention. I'm extremely frustrated by it, but we are in the middle of a battle with the agencies now. And I can tell you this, Walz agrees with me that this piddly, stupid stuff running small people out of business is terrible. But it's the problem of it's the problem of, it's the classic problem. If he's here and this guy here is giving these businesses a hard time, these folks somehow say, hey, they're picking on me. And he's like, oh, us? No, we're not. And so it's this back and forth. So now what we got to do is make it clear that this guy has got to stop it. Right? But it's the problem. But he knows that there's a lot of unfair, discriminatory stuff going on with East African businesses. I know it. These department heads like, Julie Herbstead now know that we know it. And she says, we're going to stop doing it. But I don't believe it until you tell me they've stopped doing it. Because we're talking about when the rubber hits the road, right? Or the car, what's going to happen then? You can say you're not doing it. But if some sister who just...
So yeah, so basically, like I said, that's him trying to cop please with the locals. You know what I'm saying, making excuses and trying to keep his seat. Because like you said, you can't do that without, again, I think they're in the Minneapolis area, right? And that's, if not, has to be one of not the largest populated cities in Minnesota. So, you know what I'm saying? That's simple, what's the name? But I think this is a problem that people don't understand. And I say, we talk about politics and things, right? And then I guess every 4 years we get to see just how powerful a major city is. You know what I'm saying? Because everywhere, you know what I'm saying, that has all of these votes and things and so on and so forth, then you get an Atlanta, or you get a Philadelphia, or you get a Chicago, right, that overrides an entire state because, some like at least 60 to 70% of the population is dense in the city area, in the metropolitan, right? So yeah, man. So again, I think this is just another just telltale sign and example of just how little people understand politics or even care about it until it's affecting them negatively, or they don't get the outcome they want, you know.
Yeah, and this is also an out when you drill down a little bit. It's also an outgrowth of this congressional district redrawing, and so while Minneapolis is a city, those cities will have multiple districts. So you referenced Ilhan Omar. Her district is predominantly Somali, and so even though it's only like 80,000 of them in a district like that, that's all it takes to win re-election for your congressional district that you would then represent to the federal government. And so this congressional district redrawing that California, Texas, all of these states are going through is related to issues like this. And so you'll have a state like California where there's about 43% registered Republicans, but they only have about 9 congressional districts that are red. And so that's the level of political influence being wielded. And so you have Congressman Ilhan Omar wanting to ensure she keep her seat because they don't have term limits. You have A.G. Ellison and the governor. I think those have term limits, but if they can get large voting blocks to vote their way by overlooking stuff, you see the incentive structures and you see how it plays out. But that's going from a national and then drilling back down. If that make any sense?
It makes perfect sense, bro. Like I said, you know, your local politics affect you way faster and, you know, more than the congressional aspect or the national, right? Because that's legislation that takes time to you know, get around to the entire country, and more likely than not, is just minor impact versus major. When you talk about the Californians and things, right, and we're talking about these school boards or these city councils where you have these policies to where you're allowing inappropriate adult content to be taught to children, right? That's home, like immediately, right? So that's going to be far more important than anything on a national level. Even in this Minnesota situation, you know for sure, and it's been documented, people that are even elected for these areas and elected to be overseers of certain departments and things that are going to allow the fraud, who's going to pick it. So that just shows you just how more impactful and important local politics are, you know, in comparison to national and federal.
Yeah, and a perfect example of this is your Dearborn, Michigan. So one of the things that happened, because they have a large Muslim population, they changed the city noise ordinance to allow the prayer to be blasted over the loudspeakers. That's an example of how local politics can start to change your city. I take offense to that as an American, but
well, no,
that's
what I was going to say. People were saying that and challenging that, and you know, of course, racism. They were only looking at the racial aspect of it. But again, man, this is you got to look at the tea leaves and see what's going on over in Europe. Europe has had a major issue and problem to where, you know, these people flood an area, they flood a city, they flood a region, and they literally take it over to where the women aren't safe, to where the children are safe. So again, I understand, hey, freedom of this and freedom of that and everything else, but at the same time, you got to understand, with all freedoms, freedom just means you do what the fuck you want, right? And there's certain principles and you know, concepts and just American understanding values that you can't have overwritten, bro. And with something that's, especially now with what just happened with the National Guard, anti-American, you know what I'm saying? So again,
absolutely.
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to watch these people a little bit closer, knowing that they may have anti-American undertones, and keep it reasonable, or do you want to, you know, don't do, and now, you know, we have a major issue and problem that could have been prevented had we, quote unquote, profiled or paid attention to this congregation of people that are grouping together and expressing anti-American sentiment.
Right, exactly. And it's funny that you mentioned Europe, right? Because London's mayor is a Muslim, Khan, and they have a large Muslim influence on that city. And it has gotten to where waving the British flag in the capital city of Britain is offensive to the population. And then you come across the pond to the United States, and another Muslim wins an election in the largest city in New York. And so Europe is usually the crystal ball for the United States, typically, if those ideas are not challenged. And so it's not that you don't want people of these various religions and faiths coming into the country, but the ultimate value when you come to America is to assimilate in Western values and culture. And sometimes those religious practices do not align with Western values. And that's really the tension point, right? And the lazy argument is to call someone a racist or a bigot or whatever when they say, hey, these ideas don't mesh. And when the president says, hey, well, we just won't have people from that idea, that region of the world coming into the United States, I think that's perfectly reasonable for a sovereign state to do.
Yeah, and most importantly, like you said, if you've ever traveled to the Middle East and things and so on and so forth, there's no question you're going to follow their rules and their customs, or there will be consequences and repercussions. So please understand that these people have that understanding. They're not going to give you any leeway when you're in their region. If you came to America, you're not going to bring your American values and anything. Hell, you may lose your life or limb. You know what I'm saying, depending on what you say about certain things in those countries. And the risk isn't even nowhere near that high here. So you're not going to be, physically harmed for speech here. But that's what I'm saying. And you have to understand that balance and that pressure. Listen, man. Listen, bro. Listen. My link is here. Don't tell me to go see nobody. Don't tell me. Call your daddy over here. He done pulled up on people in other places or whatever. It don't matter to me. I'm doing my show right now. You're in my chat again, throwing ad hominems, talking about this, some shit that's got nothing to do with nothing. The link is pinned. You can motherfucking hit the link, hop your silly ass up here, and prove to me what these great things that fucking FBA has done, which don't exist, right? Again, you niggas are 5 years old. All right. I'm not listening to nothing that a 5-year-old, 40-year-old has to say. Okay. I'm not listening to you niggas. That's why this shit is a joke. FBA is 5, maybe 6 fucking years old, bro. You niggas didn't even know the term or say the word before that. You're not finna tell me that you were so much FBA, my nigga, when you was black, African American, or whatever the fuck you was for the 99% of your life. Get the fuck out of my face, bro. Get out of here. And stop being scary and hit the fucking link.
Come see Columbus, Ohio, fraud investigators. If you go to the government assisted housing areas, you will find that most of the housing is Somalians. I would say about 80% of the government assisted housing in Columbus is occupied by Somalians. And the parking lot is occupied with a whole bunch of brand new cars.
Uh-oh.
And the women walking around have designer purses with EBT cards, and they have Apple iPhones stuck up in their hijabs. Yeah. And then go to the businesses that are owned by the men. Because see, what happens is when you have a restaurant or when you have a little corner store and you have a couple of wives and you only have to claim one, then that means the other wives get EBT cards. And you can use those EBT cards to buy food for your store or your restaurant. Yeah.
Now, the funny thing about that is, a black lady, FBA, she was just indicted for profiting off of using her EBT card for her bakery business, I think. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Let me pull that up. So, shout out to this sister here, right? For exposing this thing and something that we were talking about. And we all know this, bro. Listen, you know how the game go. All right, bro. 2 for 1, baby. All right. $2 to $1. I give you $1 real dollar. That's 2 food stamp dollars. We know how that shit go. Everybody done bought some yamps. All right. What are we doing out here, man? All right. You know how the game go. The more kids she got, the more money she get off the stamps. Okay. So this lady is telling you that this ain't just Minnesota, just Columbus, Ohio. Now I don't know what the the geographics is from that to that, right? But either way, this is what always seems to happen. These people like send, you know how they say, like, they send word, bro. They send word, they congregate in these areas, and then they oversaturate them and take advantage of the system. And this is problematic.
And congregate in a way to get voting block power to keep it.
Yep, that too.
Or what you can do is you can get a home health aid company, and then you only hire Somalians to work the home health aid. And what you do is you just make sure their paperwork looks right. It don't have to be right, but you just make sure it looks right. And then you send them off for those home health aid jobs. Y'all don't want to talk about fraud.
Hey, shout out to this sister, man. She got a whole bunch of other videos. You know what I'm saying, expressing the situation. In fact, let's give her another. Hold on, let me see. Hey, well, look at God, man. Here we go. She on the run, man. I mean, she on the roll, rather.
These people been here for 30 years. And for 30 years, they refuse to assimilate. As a matter of fact, they done turned Minnesota into Little Somalia. Even changed the flag of Minnesota to reflect Somalia.
Is that true?
I don't know. The state flag?
Yeah, let me. That's what I'm saying. Let's look at it. Listen, Minnesota flag change. How is that flag? Oh shit, gotta be something change. Flag change. Minnesota officially changed its state flag seal May 11th, 2024. Images. Are you serious? Hold on. What's the real? I don't know what the real flag is. Oh, it is. Hold on. That's crazy. Yeah, yo, this is crazy. Yo, check this shit out. See, we didn't even know about this. This is scary, bro. This is fucking scary. Hey, they the captain now for real, goddamn. Shit. Bro, this is the new fucking Minnesota flag. Yo, that is wild. That's fucking wild, bro. This is the epitome of what we're talking about here, people.
I guess I have to check next time I'm on base.
That's crazy, bro. That is fucking wild. Exactly, bro. I had no idea. Shout out to this sister, man, for informing us. This is crazy, but this is how it happens. This is exactly how it happens. People don't, bro. Most people don't vote and don't give a fuck about voting until every 4 years. Most people aren't aware or involved in local politics. And now you have such a fucking strong voting block of people in concentration to where, man, that's crazy, bro. That is fucking crazy.
They wasn't trying to be Americans. They were trying to recreate home. But when you tell them it's time to go home, suddenly it's a problem. When you say it's time to pack your bags because your temporary protection is over, honey. It's time to pack your bags and go home. Now suddenly it's a problem. Oh, we Americans though. We Americans. Since when? You ain't never tried to be American. You tried to change America. You tried to create your own little Somalia that you could safely have things your way in. Well, we're telling you that we don't want our cities changed into Somalia. We're going to give you a bus ride, a plane ride, a boat ride, and everything else you need until you back safely in Somalia. And let's hope them boats don't get pirated along the way.
No, shout out to Auntie, man. That's crazy. You literally learn something new every day, bro. Were you aware of that at all?
I knew they was changing, but not the state flag. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. That is crazy, bro. Jesus Christ. That is crazy. But again, just goes to show you, man, just how quickly this shit can get out of hand and how fast this shit can go. So now, man, let's just go ahead and get into it, man. Let's get into the main topic at hand. Let's go ahead and do it, man. Let's dive right on in. Man. Shout out to a man, Prince Revolver, again. Greatly appreciate your brother for the 10. America is done with ninjas. They need a new voting block, which why I laugh at ninjas marching and protesting every cause under the sun that has to do with them. Ninjas need to be politically re-educated. Prince Revolver, I agree. I don't even think it's a re-education, bro. I just think it's even a educational foundation. I say this all the time, and people, of course, it's the coon thing to say, the white man speaking or whatever, right? But bro, black people have never been knowledgeable in the most important things: economics, politics, sociability between groups and so on and so forth. What's the word I'm looking for? Networking, all those things working together, creating, establishing, maintaining an economy within your own group. The same thing that Asians do, the Arabs do, the Somalis clearly do, all of these immigrants do, hell, the Hispanics do. Hispanics were sending, I want to say $30 billion back to Central America, Mexico and Central America back like 3-4 years ago. 30 billion American dollars, sending it back. Same thing you was talking about, LR, when these Somalis are doing the same thing. A lot of this money that was being funneled was being sent back to the country of Somalia, and then have not speculated, not fucking what's the name, proven links to terrorist organization funding, right? Millions, and again, an American dollar in Somalia, probably like $100, some shit like that. I don't even know what the conversion rate is, but we just know it's a lot, right? Same way when you're talking about American dollars to Mexican dollars or Mexican pesos, right? So yeah, man. Listen, bro. We finna get into it, man. We here now, man. So
I guess a question I had is, what is the actual aim and point of the FBA? What are they trying to achieve?
Trolling. That's what they're trying to achieve, bro. That's for real shit though. Reparations is the only political thing they have. After we play this video, I'm going to talk about another thing that's very problematic and been proven to never ever work for black people. I'm going to point that out, right? They have a very, very strong connection and have no problem with representation of a certain group. which you black people just cannot work along with because they always overtake the black cause with their own cause. But let's listen to Professor.
I think I got a clue of what you who you thinking about.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened to. Oh shit! Was that? Did I have that up? Did I have it up? I had it up, right?
No, I didn't see it.
Hold up. I'm sorry. Let me replay it.
FBA. I'm not FBA. Do not support them or their concept or their attack against African peoples or the attack against Pan-Africanism, which shows a lot of ignorance and misunderstanding. I'm an African. And if someone wants to clip that little 2 minutes to try to create a critical negative, let those same person look at the other 100 plus videos that I have on the YouTube. And there's a couple of thousand more videos if you want to really go looking, and you will find they're 100% pro-African, pro-freedom, pro-identity, pro-Pan-Africanism. I'm not FBA.
Hey, people, hit the like button for me, man. Hit the like button for me. Hit the like button for me. Hit the like button for me. The like button is free. Hit that button for me, man. Okay, if you like, you still kill. Hit the like button if you will. Don't make me cut this motherfucking chat off.
Take off recording. Real more shit, man. That's why more bodies, man. Done more bodies right now, man. That real more shit, man. G up in the building, man.
Hit the like button, people. So what's your take on that, man?
My take is that it's not. I don't understand the identity being rooted in continental origin. People are so much more than their melanin makeup. I don't gain anything by putting my African ancestry in the front of my identity. There's so many other things that I do. Retired Air Force, a father, Christian, all of these other things that have a lot more meaning than just where my ancestors came from. And so I just think it's useless to advocate for that kind of stuff. It's okay to be proud in your family history and origin and everything, but I care about what you do, how you move, not what you put out in front in terms of your origin story. I don't care about your continent or country of origin necessarily. I care about how you are, how you interact, how you move. And those have to be informed by a certain set of values, wherever they come from.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like I said, I've never seen this much of focus on, you know, where you're from and so on and so forth, right? And now I do understand the complaints of the what do I call it? The positional blackness, right? Or the convenient blackness. It's convenient to be black and one of us, you know, when you're around us, but then when you're not around us, oh, I'm not, you know, I know black poppy, I know black, or, you know, I'm from the continent type shit, which I think that's always existed. You know what I mean? I think that's always existed. And again, we do the same thing, right? I mean, you know, if you can get into the Jamaican spot or whatever, you get you some, you know, extra motherfucking oxtail, it's cool, fine. But motherfuckers start, you know, they start motherfucking banging heads of the fucking Jamaicans, you can want nothing to do with it. You feel me? So I think that division happens with everybody because, you know, it's a tribalism thing, right? You may look like a group of people, but not necessarily have the same values and the same morals. You're not going to have the same culture and customs, right? We know this, but as we said, right, for one, it's now people are even saying the stupid shit. Oh, well, you know, all these negative stats, man. It's really the tethers. It's really the. It's like, bro, it's not enough of them, bro. I say for the quote unquote black community, or I'm sorry, the black population, at max, I would say maybe 3% of them would be you know, foreign, right? If something like that. Three, I would say like 3% of the people are probably like foreign born people, right? It's not that many of them, and we know it because of the concentration, the very, very small concentrations of the people. The biggest was going to be like your New York, and, you know, your tri-state area. You got a big influx of Caribbeans there. Down South Florida, you got you know, Haitians and shit or whatever. You got some Caribbean, small Caribbeans, but, you know, mostly Haitians. Then of course you got your Somalis here, and then some other African tribes or whatever in other places, but it's very, very small pockets, right? So for us to try to turn it into this thing as to where, oh, all the negative shit is 100% or 90% of the, you know, the non-FBA or the non-ADOS people, that's another cop out, right? So now, you know, but then at the same time, you want to talk about black women specifically. You know, we the most educated, which was never the truth, but your biggest concentration of education was those Nigerian women getting all those damn, you know, nursing degrees and other degrees that they were getting, you know. So yeah, man. I just think it's intraracial gang banging. Niggas find another way to hate niggas, man. You know, our own shit. In our own situation, you have like the figurative and the literal gangs, you know, gangs, blood and Crips, you know, GDs, vice lords, all the shit or whatever, so on and so forth. You know, people over that shit. But then you got, you know, North versus South, East versus West, all these type of things that create division and unnecessary competition, unhealthy. You're right. If it's fun, if it's some funny shit, you know, hey, you a fucking Cowboys fan, they're a fucking Redskins fan. Hey, that's friendly, you know, banter back and forth in competition. But when this is, you know, something as serious as the progression of a race, right, and us being stagnant compared to a lot of other groups, although we were one of the original people here, that's extremely problematic, man. And I think those people would be much better served being used positively, right, to expand out into those countries. And because we really don't have a choice, bro. American black people are the richest black people on the fucking planet, hands down.
Yep.
So we literally have the power to be like, hey man, look, unless y'all want to keep letting motherfucking China, you know, fuck y'all over and give you all these bad deals and shit and so on and so forth, hey, you can go ahead and keep doing that and then have your, you know, your countries remaining third world countries, or you can partner with us over here and we can literally motherfucking turn Africa into what it should be, just the basis of working with us together. But then you get into this mentality And many people have said it as to where they see Americans as fucking food and suckers as soon as you leave America. So, like I said, I don't disagree with some of the things that FBA brings up when it comes to that, the delineation and differentiation. But again, it's the way you go about it. If the vast majority of your activism and your purpose is talking shit to another group, what are we back in motherfucking high school?
Yeah. Yeah, my one of my things that I've always taken issue with in general is we when we talk about history and everything, we talk about like Black Wall Street and all of that stuff. And there was the Tulsa massacre and everything, but people forget that Black Wall Street was built back up after the massacre. And so one of the things we haven't begun to analyze is what were the conditions that allowed Black Wall Street to even exist in the first place. It was a cooperation and collectivism around a certain value system that people agreed with that allowed for those communities to thrive in the way that they did. And if you look at how things are now, we don't cooperate around those same values: family formation, entrepreneurial endeavor, education, keeping the crime out, giving shame to people who actually do wrong. Those are things that we can cooperate around to make your community better. And your FBA, like you said, the activism would be better served if they advocated for the right efforts and values to align around. Right now, they're misaligned.
Yeah, man. Like I say, it's just like, you know, a whole bunch of comedy and entertainment, and that's the major issue and problem that I'm seeing with the situation. But then the people that even represent it, they don't have nothing smart to say. They just, you know, tell her this and tell her that, and where your family from, and reparations and cut the check. And that's my biggest thing. Now listen, I am not anti-reparations. You know what I mean? Are you do you feel reparations are due? Do you believe in reparations? Not believe in them? What's your stance on reparations?
So my opinion on reparations is a little bit complex in some sense. I would be for reparations if it would end all of the grievance claims. So if there was an amount we can come up with that would absolve the country of its racist past, then I would be for it. Do I think the reparations were owed? I think they were at the time. Are they owed now? I'm not. I don't think that's a good use of money. And so, the other issue is how would you pay it? I think the only economist that even tried to calculate that out, to figure it out, is a Black Duke economist nicknamed Sandy Darity. I recommend you look at his work, but he tried to compute how we could actually pay it out. My issue is that the money that would be used to pay for it would still come from me, so it wouldn't be a reparation. And so I would rather not focus on that and focus on the things that keep people out of poverty to begin with, which are encouraging better decisions. So if reparations could be the soteriological solution to the country's original sin, then cut the check. But if it's only going to create another thing of saying, well, you think you can undo all of this past by just cutting us a check, if it's going to create that, then I'm going to vehemently oppose it. And so I just don't think we've thought about it. We just clearly enough in a way that will be beneficial. And so I would just table it.
Okay. And to your credit, right? And this is why I say too, right? That would be the biggest thing. I disagree vehemently with cutting a check. I disagree 10,000% or 1,000,000% with giving people that have no financial literacy a huge lump sum of money.
Absolutely.
You know
That's
what I'm
setting
saying?
money on fire.
Exactly. We see it happen that they tell you that I think it's over half of lottery winners are broke within, you know, a certain amount of time. Same with NFL stars and NBA players and these people that receive these large sums and we just had fucking Odell Beckham talking about he can't live off $100 million. Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and this is why I say, am I saying it should be no monetary aspect to it? No, I don't. But I'm not saying that. I do feel there would be an amount if and when you can prove that your ancestors were slaves, right? They suffered under slavery. You trace your bloodline down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whatever the amount is, and so on and so forth. But I think there's so many things and so much of a Pandora's box will be open if that was ever done. That's a big reason why it'll never happen.
Right.
Because
And the other issue is how far back do you go? Because what if your ancestors was one of the slave catchers in Africa, right? That caught other slave, because the Africans that arrived in America didn't get here because white people went out there and caught them. And so it's like how far back do you go? Right? Because the grievance can go back as far as you want it to go. And so that's the problem is who's on the hook.
I agree. No, I agree with you, but let me address this comment real quick. Whether we lose it or invest it, we're owed it. Okay, that's literally like motherfucking just wasting it. That's like me having a bottle of Louis the fucking 14th, right? Pouring you a glass of it and you pouring it out and telling me that you're gonna pour it out on the ground as soon as I give it to you. That's dumb. That's problematic. The fact of the matter is y'all want money just to burn and give back to the same white people that was owed it to you in the first place. It's counterproductive. It makes absolutely no sense. And now, as my man LR said, you niggas gonna be complaining about more money. That's the problem. And that's what we all know gonna happen. You're gonna get the money. The girl, y'all help me out. Chapter participation. The girl that was killed in Chicago hotel like 10 years ago, or however long ago it was, the mom accepted the hush money, and now that the hush money gone, now she want to come forward and talk. Kanika Jenkins, I think. Is it right? People, help me out. Is it Kanika Jenkins? I think that's the name of the girl, Kanika Jenkins. Kanika Jenkins' mom, after she done ran through the settlement money that she was given, and I think they say it was approximately $3-point-something million, right?
Oh.
Burnt through all the motherfucking money. Kanika Jenkins, appreciate you. Okay, this is who it is. Ran through all the money, and now that she ran through all the money, now she want to speak her truth, and she want to be also hurt and remorseful about her fucking daughter being dead or how she died, and she want answers. Your ass didn't want no motherfucking answers when you had that money, but now that you done burnt through it, you know what I'm saying? And we know that's that's what's gonna happen, man. Come on, what are we doing? Shout out to Chocolate Bunny in the building. Well, those will be the people who become slaves. And yes, I missed your earlier comment, love. I'm taking it out of context. Let me see. Here we go. My bad. Personally, reparations for my family would come from the city building interstates through our neighborhood, them taking our land to build oil and chemical plants. That's why my family deserves reparations. Okay, that makes sense. Listen, I'm with you on that. If you can, again, this would be if you have a thing to where your land was forcibly taken away from you, because this would be exactly in line with what happened with the Native Americans. I have no issues and problems with that. And what makes it great, Chocolate Money, is that you would have the deed and the land records and the thing to prove it. I have no problem with that. I don't even think that's more of a reparations than
just damages.
Damages. Thank you. Property damages, ownership theft, however you want to put it. We're not challenging that. The reparation part comes to I'm black. My people were slaves. They suffered from slaveries. Pay me today. That's what people say, or the colloquial understanding of reparations is when we say reparations. And listen, when we say this, right? So then people go, oh, well, Japan. Listen, Japan people were paid reparations because you had to pay Japan people on behalf of their home country. Their home country complained and said, hey, just because y'all beefing with us, you can't illegally detain our people and put them as, in camps and shit and so on and so forth. This is more, you know what I'm saying? So whenever we talk about reparations and shit, y'all got to properly frame them and keep it in the same lane.
Also, that money went to the people who were actually affected. Like it went straight to them.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's different. Not their grandkids.
Yeah, exactly. Not even great, like great, 10 generations later. People that were directly affected were paid those monies. And I think that's another thing here. And then we get into the legality versus morality thing. The biggest issue and problem you're gonna get is, hey, at the time that slavery was going, that slavery is wrong, slavery's fucked up, all these different things, slavery was legal. You're going to have to be able to make a legal argument stating that during the time that something that was legal being done, and just going from there. And again, whenever I say these things, I'm a coon for saying them, right? But I'm telling you, literally, you're going up against the United States federal government in the history of the whole entire country to tell them, hey, you owe us this, going to be clearly billions of dollars, right? To pay you. You can't just come with cut the check. And that's all you niggas saying. And I think that's one of the biggest issues and problems with FBA is taking everything as a joke and oversimplifying everything. I need an FBA person. I need an FBA person that's going to tell me, well, of course, and well, you can't have you talk about the strategy. And bro, listen, bro. if it's legally sound or whatever, it is what it is. It's not gonna make a difference no fucking way. You feel me? If it matters, it matters. But I can say, if you want to sit down with me off camera and talk about it, and we can hash this out, I'll even be willing to do it. That, but I don't even have to worry about it because I know you can't do it. You niggas hadn't even thought that far.
The other thing is we forget that slavery was a world practice. Like your Muslim communities probably trafficked more slaves than any group of people in world history. And so, like, people have matriculated into America from various different regions all over the world who were probably a product of slavery. Like the word slave come from the
white people,
white
Slavs.
Right?
Exactly. They're Slavs. Exactly.
So, like, slavery was just a common practice in general. Like, it's just so. And we try to differentiate American slavery from slavery across the rest of the world, which I can understand that that's a difference in the formation of America. But the problem is we were probably the second or third country to stop slavery as a practice. And at that point, when the 40 acres and a mule didn't come, we're in 2025. We're like 400 years removed. It's hard to go back and calculate what. Like I'm still waiting on people to describe what the reparations ought to look like.
Yeah, this for them is just cash money. I think it would be much better in programs, land, tax breaks, something more akin to if they want it or you agree upon it, not reservations per se, but like I said, land, right? Dedicated land for, and things like that.
So there was the Community Reinvestment Act of, I think, 1995 that tried to address some of that stuff. I forget the year, but Professor John McWhorter of Columbia talks about it in a lot of his lectures and stuff. And in his mind, he would consider that a form of reparations. I think the issue that we really have to ask, though, when we talk about it is how much of it is enough? Like, what is the amount or number of programs or number of people it has to cover for it to be sufficient? And I don't think we've had that conversation.
Well, that would be even a greater thing, right? And I'm glad you just said this and made me think about it. And let me see, Send C and anecdotal. I don't know. 2 cents anecdotal, brother. You can say whatever you want to say. You don't have to agree. We welcome all comments, brother. Whatever you want to say it. If you agree, you agree. If you disagree, you disagree. Let me read this real quick and I'll get back to it. Because you just made a point that made me think about something. Shout out to my man, We Geeks Boy, for the 20 ball. Really appreciate you, brother. Weren't you also one of the folks talking about blacks not separating ourselves by class? No, I was saying we do need to separate by class. 10,000%. We would just have an underclass. Who cares if Pookie wastes his money on a chain or Keisha's BBL? Not my problem. Well, brother, I care because he's going to be getting millions of dollars, and that's going to cause major inflation and price hikes on everything too. Again, this is a serious conversation here. And that was, hey, the shit was funny as hell that you said it, right? But serious business, dog. People saw this happen in California, bro, when they did the $20 minimum wage shit, bro. You had only a raise for the bottom. So what do you think people are gonna do? The business are gonna hike fucking prices to soak that money up because they know you just had a fucking literal damn near 25 to 50% raise for all people doing a very, very low skill minimum wage job.
Or they close and move.
Yeah. So, but only on the lower class, right? So the people working the fucking fast food got a raise, but the doctors didn't get no motherfucking 50% raise. The engineers didn't get a 50% raise. Nobody got a fucking 50% raise, but the people at the bottom. So again, that's a major, bro. That's economic fucking torture to do something like that. So now you're gonna put this big influx of money to a group of people that already has $1.7 trillion in spending power. Last I checked, right? Which would make us like a top 15 economy in the world, right? So now on top of the 1 point whatever trillion, let's say at the bare minimum, $500 million is not another trillion itself. And you're just gonna influx that money to people that have absolutely little to no. Come on, man, what are we doing here? This is the serious conversation that I'm talking about is gonna have to be had if we're gonna talk about cutting the check and getting reparations. This isn't just that cut and dry and that plain and simple. It's not, man. This is really, really deep shit. Shout out to my man West M757 for the 5. Greatly appreciate you, brother. I agree with you 80% about FBA, but if you want to talk to someone who is very serious about the ADOS FBA, Dana with the data, she is good with this. I saw Dana have a conversation. I forget who it was, and I'm not gonna say Dana's not knowledgeable, but Dana's more passionate than knowledgeable. Again, most FBA people are more passionate than knowledgeable, and whenever you pin them to a corner, it becomes combative. It becomes whatever. Y'all know me. I can do it anyways. And shout out to Dana, man. You know what I mean? I don't know if she, me and her had a run-in years ago. I don't know if she still feels some type of way or whatever. But I don't think so. Cause I think I went on Dana's show when she first started having Judge Joe Brown on. So I hope we cool. I don't have no smoke or no problem with Dana. But listen, bro, I am not opposed to, afraid of Dana, Tyreek, anybody. If y'all are here and you know me, you know me. I do this for real. I will talk with anybody about the situation, and however it goes, it goes. If we having a serious conversation, it'll be a serious conversation. If it's a motherfucking jokes and you know what I mean, jokes and jabs, I can do that too. I can do whichever one. It don't really matter. But shout out to you, brother, for the 5. Really appreciate it. Now, LR, bro, you brought up something that's major that I didn't even think about, right? So now, how fair is it, and how do we calculate? We know the black population back in slavery times was what? At least 10 times less the size. So now we're magnifying that times 10 to cover a far lesser population. You see what I'm saying? So how do you do that? How do we calculate that, right? Because if we say the right way, okay, well, hey, we what you call it? You make the money fit for the time that it was, right? So let's say every slave in that time gets $1 million, and then you add inflation and you move it up to modern, what's the name, see what that amount is, right? The problem with that now is if you do it that way, and that should be the way you do it, per slave, per their time, and make the money modern, then your bloodline has to divide that money. That will be the right way to do it. But no, niggas not gonna want that. What they want, even though, and this is to your point. Now, if I'm the United States government, I'm saying, well, whoa, nah, we agree that y'all owe some money, and we'll say, let's make it $1 million per slave, and then we'll turn that into $1 billion per slave, right? So how many people we had back then times $1 billion, right? You got to divide that billion by whatever. No, man, no. We know that's what's gonna happen. Promise you, I guarantee. What people are saying now, all the cut the check people is every single descendant of slave should get money as if they were slaves themselves. That don't make sense mathematically. It don't make sense economically, and it's just not even fair ethically. But again, for saying that, you a coon.
And again, that's the real conversation, though. It's like, well, what makes us right? What makes us whole? And I don't think we've had that conversation to the detail necessary, because I do think our country suffers from quote unquote white guilt to a degree that if you came up with a sufficient amount that we could say, all right, we good. This handles the race relation issues, they probably cut it. The problem is what next? And so we haven't had that conversation to the degree that it needs to be had, in a way, because I guarantee you with the majority, they would do it in a heartbeat if it would end all of this goofiness in this talk, in my opinion. And that's why, like I said, that's the only reason I would be for it, because it would allow us to stop focusing on it and focus on things that matter. But since it's also a fair, in my opinion, this is not realistic to ask for, they should just stop talking about it and focus on doing things that generate wealth to begin with, and not ask for it from the government.
If you do a crime, I guarantee the headlines say black. You not FBA. Who are you saying that I'm not FBA? 2 cents anecdotal. Are you saying I'm not FBA?
I think he'd be in general.
Okay. Their country for good. Well, again, brother. Let's if we're saying only 3, and I'll get maybe 5% of them are that. What's the chances of 5% creating 99% of the black crime, bro? Oh, it don't add up. And especially, like I said, brother, the news that we have video proof and evidence. Chicago is FBA, Memphis FBA, Atlanta FBA. Okay, what are we talking about? I live in Duval. Okay, FBA is a motherfucker. Macon, Georgia, ooh. FBA. All right, so y'all, we gotta be. If we not gonna fucking have this thing, man, what are we doing? Yeah, now come on, man. Now listen, brother Barber, brother, you are from fucking New York, and I thought I heard you speaking some of that bad mind shit. Okay, speaking the patois, brother. Let's not do this, dog. Let's not do this. A New York nigga is never gonna tell me nothing about my motherfucking lineage and where the fuck I'm from. Y'all gotta stop the bullshit, bro. Y'all emotional. That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't have to agree with you for my bloodline to be what it is, my nigga. What's wrong with y'all, bro? What is wrong with y'all? This is my biggest problem with FBA. Oh, where your family from? You tell her. No, nigga, I just don't agree with you, and I don't have to.
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
It's 11% black immigrants. Fantastic. Show me the stat. Show me the proof. Ain't no fucking way. What the fuck is y'all talking about, bro? There's no fucking way. You're saying 11% of black people are immigrants? What we talking about? Shout out to We Geeks Boy for the 5 gifted memberships. Greatly appreciate you, brother. Everybody that caught a membership, man, tell my boy thank you and please maintain them. Yeah, that's why I'm confused. No, well, no, I think no, not 11% out of the 13%. So they're saying a percentage of the 13%. So they're saying of the 13%, which would be total. It's a total of 43. I think now I say now 48 million black people, black quote unquote. They're saying that 11%, which would be 4.8 million of them, are immigrants. Nah, fam, it's not that many. It's not that many, bro. Again, even in one of the biggest concentrations, you only got 80,000. So just think about that. If you're not talking New York, and we can all think about, we can literally walk this down. West Coast, it ain't even like that. West Coast has more of an influx of Hispanics than yeah. So what are we talking? So this is strictly an East Coast thing, East Coast and Midwest thing. West Coast isn't even affected like that. So if we walk this down, right, to where we're talking about the people of African descent, and bro, come on, because y'all just told me yesterday it was like 3 to 5%. Somebody just said, literally, one of the FBA people said a couple days ago it was like 5%. Now y'all done doubled it. Come on, man, what are we doing? Now you saying, what are you talking about? It's 33% non-FBA black. What the fuck are y'all talking about? You're crazy. So now we went from 11% to 33%. I'm not doing it, bro.
What's the point?
Now, bro, it's to, again, it's to shirk accountability away from black people, and now blame all of the crime and all of the bad things, or the majority of the bad things, on non-FBA people. Same thing is like negative stats. We talked about STD rates and stuff like that, and so on and so forth, and you know, whatever. So they like to say, oh well, that's the tellers. No, motherfucker. No, nigga. Again, just another now you're using all the immigrants as scapegoats for all the bad shit, when you can literally see, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, what are we talking about? But I got to show my shout out to the OG, man. Shout out to the OG, Sarah Sudin Seti. All right. Hey, man, this is one of the funniest cats I've ever seen, man. This nigga was just yelling and hollering for no reason. One of the pro-black legends or whatnot, what have you. Let's see what you got to say about this, man.
As men's, and ultimately, that's a personal motherfucking situation that, you know, between two grown-ass men. You know what I'm saying? That could be dealt with, you know, between the two of them. All this excess bitch shit that you niggas is doing out here. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is. You see what I'm saying? That's all it motherfucking is. Let another, you see, what you niggas got to learn how to do is let another nigga hold his nuts, his own nuts. Y'all so quick to jump out there to hold another nigga nuts. And I'm sick of this.
And again, we know who you're talking about. Ain't nobody worried about Professor Smalls, man. Professor Smalls don't got no motherfucking defense force. Y'all treat Tyreek like he a motherfucking like this nigga ain't roasted everybody in the world. Tyreek don't need your help. But this is what happened when you're a cult leader, man. When you're a cult leader, the cult will fucking fight for you. This is why the niggas immediately throw Tyreek name around like he just gonna motherfucking pop out of the fucking air, and you know. But listen, man.
Bitch. You see what I'm saying? It's two grown ass men, intelligent, should be able to, whatever is going on, should be able, you understand what I'm saying, to come to some understanding, whether they don't want to fuck with one another or not. That's okay. It ain't the first time two niggas didn't fell out. It ain't the first time two niggas didn't fell out, but I already knew it was coming to this. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what the fuck y'all niggas talking about, y'all knew where this shit was going. All this divisive ass fucking talking.
Bro, who is this, bro? Bro, what are you talking about? No, the fuck is not. For one, you're talking about South Florida. South Florida, brother. That's South Florida, where you got the motherfucking Haitians and the Zoes and shit in the Caribbean, motherfuckers. Bro, y'all, bro, y'all do understand too. Do you understand, bro? Florida is the 4th largest state in the fucking country. Do you know how crazy that would be to say that 75% of the black people in Florida are or Caribbean blacks or foreign blacks? What's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all didn't pay attention in motherfucking what's the name? See, you look. Yes, he's our leader. Listen, man. And what is your leader leading you to do? So now that y'all have finally, because you asked, well, Tyreek's not a leader. He's just, he's not a leader. You can't lead a lineage. That's what niggas told me 2 days ago. So now y'all saying he your leader. Y'all don't even got y'all own rap together, bro. That's another reason why I know this shit a joke. Y'all niggas don't even know what y'all is. Are you a movement or not? Are you only a lineage or what? Do you have a fucking political agenda or you don't? You niggas don't even have no type of fucking order, bro. Y'all have no order. You don't have no fucking charter, no fucking, well thought out or drawn out intentions, principles, all these different things, bro. What are we doing?
You understand what I'm saying? All this divisive ass talking. Y'all know where the fuck this was going. And the crazy shit is a lot of y'all motherfuckers in y'all panties because of some things that was said towards FBA that, CIA, FBI, you understand what I'm saying? And motherfuckers were saying the same shit, you know what I'm saying, about the Pan-Africanists. You were saying the same shit, but somehow not niggas is in their panties and shit. You see what I'm saying? You cannot, if you're gonna throw rocks, motherfucker, expect one. You understand? One of them might end upside your motherfucking head. You see what I'm saying? If you're gonna throw motherfucking stones, you see, you understand? You throw motherfucking stone, that's what happened. Okay, but I kind of figured, and it always end up. So what the fuck is you niggas accomplishing? You see what I'm saying? All you niggas run to the motherfucking, to the internet with all these divisive ass motherfucking videos. Y'all some suckers. Straight up. You see, you can't do it. You can't find a more intellectual way of dealing with this shit other than goddamn gang banging. Cause that's.
I'm gonna stop it there, bro. Again, that was the main point I wanted to get to was the gang banging aspect of it. And that's always how we end up handling things. Your side versus my side. No actual positive things being done. No work being done. No results. No solutions. Just why you don't agree with me. You a pussy ass nigga. You a bitch ass nigga. You a tether. You a this. You a that. You a coon. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bruh, I can't have my own mind. And again, this is another big thing. But I'm gonna stop running my mouth after this, LR. Ideas, concepts, inventions, things are made great through challenge. Okay, things are made great by putting it up against the purity test or adversity, right? You can't just say, oh well, it's this and this and it should be this. Yeah, no, motherfucker. In order to fucking seal up all the holes that you have in this simple ass shit that you think is just so fucking profound and complex, you need somebody to challenge it and show you where the holes are already poked in at it. But with us, you can't do that shit because you automatically become a coon. So,
yeah, a professor I like out of Boston by the name of Peter Kreeft, he has a quote that says, "You should be egalitarian towards people, but elitist towards ideas." Basically, some ideas are better than others, and the only way you find that out is by, like you said, testing them.
yeah, man. They got mad at the he was a Harvard, I think it was a Harvard professor or a Harvard fellow, the guy that did the thing that showed there was no police brutality.
Roland Fryer. Yeah,
Roland Fryer. There we go. Yeah,
Roland Fryer.
Bro, they literally canceled that man and got rid of him, bro, because he felt so bad about it. He reran the study again and still found the same results. And again, you can't even tell the truth, bro, as anything that goes against, So that's the problem we're at, bro. And that's my biggest thing, because now this FBA shit just done found another way to call divisiveness and again, not do anything productive. So
I wish more people knew about Roland Fryer. Like it's funny because the dean that counseled him, she got caught up in the plagiarism scandal. So that was Claudine Gay behind it. And what's crazy is she plagiarized Dr. Carol Swain, who is also a kind of a right-leaning political thought leader. But yeah, I wish a lot of people knew more about Roland Fryer and a lot of his work. Probably one of the best Black economists, younger Black economists. Glenn Lowry and Thomas Sowell are my top dogs. So
yeah, you know they niggas hate Thomas Sowell, bro. Black people Thomas Sowell is one of the greatest minds, regardless of color or anything, historical context, economics, politics. One of the greatest minds ever, bro. And he will never get his due because, you know.
And his other contemporary, Walter Williams, he passed away in like 2020. But Walter Williams and Thomas Sowell used to kind of run together. He was out of George Mason, also a Black economist. He's very good, and you can look up some of his videos. I think you'll resonate more with a lot of Walter Williams stuff.
Okay, I'll look him up.
But he sounds like Thomas Sowell too. But he's a good one.
Tariq has zero plan, argument, or sales pitch for Congress when it comes to reparations. These Bamas literally sit around all day trying to absolve FBA accountability and attack the tellers. Oh, well, this is the most important part, man. Listen, y'all know
I'm from Alabama. No.
Listen, man. This is the most important part right here, man. Listen, bro. FBA, dog, I can't take y'all serious, bro. I cannot do it, fam. I cannot do it. FBA, y'all gotta. And this is why it's a troll group. This is why it's a troll group. First Lady of FBA. This is you see that? You see what that says right there? That TS, you know what that TS stands for? Chat participation, chat participation, chat participation. Okay? You see that flag? You see them two flags right there? The fact that y'all actually do these spaces and shit, man, y'all actually let this person, okay, proclaim themselves as the first lady of FBA. Bro, I'll never take you niggas serious, bro. Never in a million fucking years. When we seen how every time that Black people try to fucking go hand in hand with the LGBT movement and how the shit gets co-opted and gets fucking overtaken by their, you know what I mean? Yeah, come on, bro. What the fuck are we talking about? This is something extremely, extremely serious, or it should be, and you niggas don't even take it serious. So if y'all don't take this shit serious, I know it's a fucking joke. Same thing as the dude, Marcel. Some dude named Marcel. He was running around here. Same thing. This nigga out here doing the bending. Okay?
Are you gay?
How you gonna ask me a question like that?
How do you marry a woman and then turn around and let a man bend you over?
Ain't nobody bending me over.
Oh, so you doing the bending?
You doing the goddamn bending, brother. Hell no, man. That was wrong with you niggas, man. Get out of my face. Come around here talking about this. I'm not taking you serious, bro. And you got a damn Decepticon and a brotherfucker, it's two of the top prominent people in your movement, your organization, bro. That's supposed to be for a whole race of people. You crazy as hell, bro. Stop it. Yo, chill out. Chill out. Sharecropper hat is crazy. That nigga does have that damn hat that don't nobody that the boy had on in Huckleberry Finn and shit. He was wearing that damn Huckleberry Finn hat. I was like, God damn, what the hell going on? Looking like fucking Luffy from One Piece. But what's your take on it, man? I think what did you read my mind correctly about the group I was talking about? You said it earlier.
Yeah, I was talking about the LGBT community.
Okay.
They use our struggle as a Trojan horse to get their stuff in. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like I said, being especially we saw and it's crazy. A lot of people are starting to talk about it now, understanding what Barack Obama did to Black people, and literally had that group leapfrog us in all of everything we could have possibly had going on in those 8 years, bro. I don't think we even started to recover from that because it's so recent and people don't understand. And you saw the power, political power, economic power, social power. Remember, bro, you can't even say the F word anymore. That's some shit that we all said. And it wasn't even malicious. It was just something that everybody said. You said the F word, bro, you're canceled. Everybody's still saying nigga like it ain't no tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I think the other issue is that particular group has gone further and further extreme too, though. So it's like,
oh yeah, oh,
so like
crazy.
The T, the Q, the none, whatever. That stuff has actually pushed your L and your L and your G in the pot with the normal people almost now at this point. It's it's I don't know if you saw
the remember the first, I think it was the first Congress person of Delaware or whatever it was, whatever the first trans Congress person.
Oh, Sarah McBride, yeah.
Just got caught with child, inappropriate what's the name?
Oh, she did? He did?
It wasn't, hold on, I can tell you who it was. I don't think it was that one. I got the name right here.
I don't think it was Sarah.
In a second, I can bring it up to you. Where we at? Here you go. Hold on, give me a second, and I will. Here goes.
United States has now pled guilty to multiple counts of child pornography, shocking leftists and literally no one else. Stacey Marie Lawton, born Barry Lawton, was elected to the New Hampshire House as a Democrat. He pled guilty last week to multiple counts of possessing child abuse. Text messages showed that he and his partner, 40-year-old Lindsay Groves, fantasized about abusing kids. Groves sent him at least 4 sexually explicit pictures of children between the ages of 3 and 5, all taken at the daycare where Groves worked between May of 2022 and June of 2023. In the texts, Lawton even told Groves how she should physically abuse the children in her care. This guy.
So I guess that was like probably the first overall. It was a New Hampshire, wherever it was at the state level.
Yeah, one of the things I find very interesting is the lengths people go to protect that community in a way that they don't do anybody else. So like when the shooter of the Christian school in Tennessee back in 2023 had a manifesto, but it took like a year or so to release it, or when there were other issues with other folks that have done things that they didn't want to say what their orientation was, even with the unfortunately the Charlie Kirk assassination. In that situation, we're in a culture where it's wrong to say that certain things are wrong because it'll make you a bigot or homophobe, just like we were talking about the Somali fraud situation. And any aspersion cast at an individual seems to be the aspersion that's going to be cast to an entire group of people. I do think the trans issue is more of a mental issue than something else, but it's just amazing the lengths and depths that people go to protect them from criticism. I don't know if you saw it was funny, the lesbian lady at the gym who got invaded by the a trans person
Yeah.
in front, and she confronted Anthony Weiner.
Yeah, she got kicked out of the what's her name?
Yeah. And it's just like, man, the depths that they take to protect that community is crazy.
Well, that's what I was saying, and understanding you know, just how how insulting that would be, bro, when, like you said, you're saying black people were treated so bad, right? And of course we agree slavery was messed up, but then, like you said, as black people, you will either try to co-op, or not co-op, but work with these people that's been able to co-op your suffering, your pain, and try to fucking analogize it to say that where, you know, well, you know, being a gay person was like being a black person. No, motherfucker, I ain't never seen one gay plantation. Never. It's too hot, massa. It's too no, motherfucker. What are we doing? So that's what I'm saying, man. Once you start understanding this stuff, bro, to where again, a lot of these things just don't add up. If you're this group that are going to be the front runners of getting these reparations and so on and so forth, the last people that need to be some of the loudest speakers, jokingly or seriously, right? Because the jokes are going to happen. You know, we the funniest people on the planet are us. We're going to find a way to make a joke out of everything. But if you're talking about something that's serious of getting, like you said, slavery, the fucking horrific things that happened in slavery paid off and paid back to people, that shit right there, God, that simply can't happen.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting, right? And I think you talked about this a few years ago when you had a criticism of BLM, and it's interesting that the people in front of that, right, was part of the LGBT community trying to advocate for African Americans in a sense, like kind of glomming on to our struggle on the back end, and you go to the website and you see all the other stuff related to the community that they were trying to advocate for on the backs of dead black men. That's a problem.
Yeah, man. That's again a black man is the most valuable when he's been, you know, killed by the police or a white man. That's the only time it's, you know, he has true value, unfortunately. And then, like you said, to see, bro, them give 90% of the funds to the same, you know, alternative lifestyle organizations, just even bigger slap in the face themselves and a life. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for them to get indicted. I cannot wait for them to get indicted, for them to get charged.
Think they're gonna get indicted?
I guarantee. Oh, they're gonna make sure of it. Listen, Trump. Listen, man. You know how Trump is, bro. Trump is.
I think they're gonna hide. I think she's gonna try to hide in Canada, man.
Nah, she not good. Nah, they're not. She's not gonna be able to get away. All three of them, they're not gonna be able to get away. But hey, man, I think we had a great conversation, man. Covered everything. You know what I'm saying? We greatly appreciate you to come back. Like I said, we're doing this every Thursday. Whenever you got time, brother, you're always welcome. Great conversation. You know what I'm saying? And you got anything you want to put out for the people?
Yeah, I just thank you for having me. I appreciate you allowing me to come on the stream. Only thing I'm gonna promote is your conservative values. Invest in the stock market, marry that woman, raise a family, and if you can join the military. I did 21 years, 6 months, and 11 days in the United States Air Force. Seen the Middle East, everything. So that's what I'm about. Join a church, find your community.
For sure, brother. Greatly appreciate you coming up, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sans.
Yeah, man. For sure, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, man. The link was pinned and everything, right? So all you FBA gangbangers, none of y'all hit the link, bro. I'm gonna stay up here for like maybe 3 more minutes to give y'all a chance. You know what I'm saying? One-on-one with the great one, right? Because at the end of the day, bro, like I said, I have no issue or problem with black unity, right? I don't have an issue or problem with black people saying we're not African people, right? Or there's a difference between Africans and American blacks, Caribbeans and American blacks. I don't even know why we don't never talk about South Americans. Like, again, the largest non-African based blacks are in South America. So I don't even know why we don't talk about them, but I guess I don't know. Right. But I guess it's because of people that come here. But I know for a fact here, there's a contingent of Brazilians here. But that's another thing for another day, right? Listen, you're going to go out here and you're going to try to change the identification of the identity of an entire race of people to say that, hey, we all need to be this, or the majority of us need to be that. Bro, you can't tell me what I am. You can't force me to believe your fucking 5-year-old ideology when I've been on this earth for 42 years now. Okay. Literally 42 years. And at this point for me, like a few weeks, 42 years and some weeks. You're not going to tell me that I'm crazy because I have the common sense and the balls to be like, hold on, man. This shit 5 years old. And the guy that created this shit stole it from another group of people, right? Changed it into some other shit. All he want to do is troll. And the people that he going at was the people that he was dick riding for 10 fucking years. Well, not even just 10, because hell, he's talking about there's going to be another Hidden Colors movie, right? So understanding who and what this man is, I mean, and again, I got respect for Tyreek. I respect Tyreek as a businessman. I respect Tyreek as an entertainer. I respect Tyreek as a comedian. Nigga funny as hell, right? But him being a true leader, racial lead, no fucking way. Tyreek's not serious enough for that, bro. Tyreek is about money first and comedy second, and then whatever else in the hell after that. Okay. Tyreek's all about paychecks and roasting niggas. Okay. That's his MO, bro. That's his bag. I'm not knocking him for it. But what you're not gonna do is tell me it's something wrong with me for recognizing that and then not believing nothing this nigga got to say, because I know he took the shit from something else that was way better structured and had more of a serious tone to it. Yvette Carnell gets in her little mood or whatever, and she talks shit here and there, so on and so forth. But again, 90+% of the ADOS movement is not trolling. 90+% of the ADOS movement wasn't going at and causing issues, purposely seeking out beef, okay, with people in the Caribbean and on the continent. Yvette Carnell and them was actually talking about trying to get legislation, possible classification, all these different things, right? More on the serious note. Again, all FBA is doing is going and having Twitter spaces, calling niggas tethers, and having LGBT representation in the forefront. It's problem. All of that's problematic, bro. Listen, do what you want to do. Your bedroom is your business, but once it's made clear of what it is, and we know the history and the track record of black people's motives, intentions, needs, political views, and so on and so forth, always being overridden whenever you try to, you know what I'm saying, include the alternative lifestyle community. Hell no, bro. Fuck no. Ain't no way. I'm not signing up for that shit. What's wrong with you? Not doing it. You can't tell me it's something wrong with me because I refuse. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not even challenging that. I'm not challenging whether any of the stuff is a grift. But what I'm saying is she's a much serious grifter. If you want to call her a grifter, cool, fine.
What up?
Yo, what up?
Shit, what you into, man?
I'm live. Who is this?
Well, man, you know what this is, man.
No, I didn't see your face.
It's your boy, man.
Oh my God, the stalking nigga. Bro,
Oh,
why?
yeah.
Bro, why you gotta stalk niggas,
Yeah,
man?
man, you can't help but laugh because you know you be hating on me, man.
The Humpty, brother, I have not, brother, I have not mentioned you. And only time I mention you, brother, when you mention me, dog. You're not that important to me, fam. You know me. I never start nothing. I end everything, though, brother.
I ain't never did no to you,
Listen,
man.
man, from one big nose to the biggest nose nigga in YouTube, brother. Can we just squash this, whatever it
Hey,
is, man?
you like the ambient lights I put up there?
No, I don't, brother. I don't like nothing
You
about
know that shit
nothing.
fire, nigga.
I
You
don't
know that
like
shit.
nothing about another man, my nigga.
You know
Pause,
that
bro.
shit fire as fuck.
Pause, brother. Pause. But I'm asking you, man. All right, from one big nose nigga to a bigger nose nigga, man. Whatever your problem with, can we squash this, bro? Because it's
Man, you
weird.
attack me.
I
Why
never
y'all niggas
attacked
can't never
you.
just say sorry, man?
You
My
can
bad.
never. I can't say sorry because you can't tell me what happened.
All right, man. I ain't got to tell you
Exactly.
what
You
you did,
still
man.
doing it.
You know what you did
I
on
don't.
Kwame panel? It's still up. You know the
I
last time you was on Kwame Brown panel, you know you was talking shit about me when I was trolling him, bro. Come on, man. You
So
ain't gotta
if you trolling, nigga, how I know you not
listen, man.
trolling
Hey,
me?
bro, this shit is just fun to me, man. Like you the one got a problem with me.
Nah, man. You just listen, bro. It is what it is, brother.
You
Again,
got a
man.
problem with me, man.
Once a troll, always a troll, brother. I don't, bro. I just show you. I just show the weirdness, brother. And like I
Ask
said,
the chat, man, do they like the likes and shit I put up? I
nah,
did
man.
that myself
Hey,
too.
bro.
I got it.
We can't. Hey, but have a good night, brother.
Look,
Enjoy.
hold up, though. Hold on, nigga, stop, man. Hold, let me show you this too. I gotta show the people this, man. You
All
know,
right, man.
y'all might
Hold on,
want to decorate like that. See, I got the lights down there too, under the
but
fireplace.
But brother, you got two gold plaques, brother. Ain't that plaque right there?
Yeah.
That mean 100,000 subs somewhere,
No,
brother.
million.
Oh
Million.
yeah. Well, can't you go see your million sub channel, brother, and just go live
Man, I do that every day.
on your million sub channel? Why we ain't never
Yes.
seen it?
Every day, because you ain't looking.
Why we ain't never seen your million sub channel, man?
Because you ain't looking, bro.
Because it don't exist. Have a good night, brother. Enjoy the game.
Peace, dog. Quit hating.
Okay. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Oh my God, this shit crazy. You know a nigga old, man. That nigga old too. So look at my lights. That's crazy. Look at my lights. Shout out to the coldest Jenkins. Appreciate you, brother, for the 5. FBA is the up-to-date name of our freedmen lineage. There's no leader and delineation is needed. Claude Anderson was right decades ago. It's a start. Well, brother, see, this is and the coldest, brother. First and foremost, appreciate you for the 5. But the coldest, the problem is people don't agree with you. There have been people in this chat today that said Tyreek is your leader. We understand that again, Tyreek, even though you guys, people are saying this. So I don't know if you still hear the coldest, brother, but please inform me. Someone was saying the other day when I had the conversation over on Freezy, shout out to Freezy, that Dr. Claude Anderson came up with the term FBA. Is that true? Because I you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Did Dr. Claude Anderson come up with the term FBA? Because that's what they're saying he did, right? My understanding is that Tariq Nasheed came up with the term FBA. And not only came up with a term, but he trademarked it, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him trademarking it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just simply saying that to the point of if a person came up with a term and then they own all legal rights to the term for something that you're following, it's hard to. Thank you. I didn't think he did. So FBA is a Ann Coulter, the white lady. Stop playing with me, V-Dub. Ain't no fucking way. Stop playing with me. Well, quite simple, quite easily. What are you talking about? Even if you want to go biblically, right? Moses was the fucking leader of the Israelites. Moses was the leader of the children of Israel. What the fuck you mean? Why do we do stuff like this, people? Come on, stop. It's quite easily to be the leader of a lineage. What are we talking about here? It's real easy to be a leader of a lineage. The people accept you as you step up, and the people accept you or appoint you as the leader, brother. What are we talking about? What are we saying? It's not dumb. It's not dumb at all. Dr. Claude Anderson called us native. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Dakotas, that's all I'm saying. It is a term that Tyreek came up with, right? Rightfully so. I want to make sure he gets his credit. He trademarked it. So again, how would he not be the leader when he's the progenitor of the thought or the concept? You can't say he's not the leader when he created the fucking terminology. And people clearly follow him and acknowledge him as the leader. That's all I'm saying, man. This is where it gets murky though, because everybody, well, it's not this, it's a lineage. Okay, well, it's a lineage. Okay, why is it a lineage that 80% of black people don't even know about? So now y'all trying to tell us what we are. You know what I'm saying? By your, you know what I'm saying? By your classification and your definition. When again, I know for a fact the majority of you niggas had motherfucking did your research down to your parents' name or your ancestors' name being on the slave ledger. You haven't done it. I know you haven't done it. That's my thing. Y'all haven't done it. Look, man. How did the nigga it is? Well, they fit, bro, because again, so they fit because it's still so your land your birth here, like your origins and your what's names come back to here. So listen, man, and don't take my word for this, but again, this is why the book They Came Before Columbus is very, very important. And I forget what the other one was, right? But the ties of the people that were here, the African people or the people of African descent that were here before Columbus got here still came from Africa. They just navigated the river, and not the river, I'm wild, not the river. They navigated the sea, ended up here, and then they settled in, and of course started not only the same way the slave trade worked, both South American and North American continents, right? Bro, what do you want, bro? Well, well, nah. See, look, this brother right here said that's your leader, man. Leave our leader alone. I'm the leader of the Organic Negro American Foundation. I don't know what the hell that means, brother. Brother, what, brother?
I just want to teach you something real quick, man.
What? Teach me what, brother?
No, Dr. Claude did not come up with the term. He only talked about reparations. And they got similarities like through powernomics and stuff, man. But Tyree kind of coined it in 2018, I think, or 19.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. So no. Thank you, brother, for confirming what I thought.
Yeah.
Because
If you ever want me to
somebody else,
teach you something, man, just let me know, bro.
I already knew it, brother. You just confirmed it. You didn't teach me nothing.
I'll
Have
teach
a
you
great night.
anything you need to know, man.
So no, so it's confirmed. Like I said, man, Tyreek came up with the term. It's Tyreek's. And I'm not being facetious with this. I'm not being joking, and so on and so forth. I want to make sure that Tyreek gets his credit because, for all intents and purposes, this is supposed to be. This is something that a lot of black people are starting to follow. Okay, so taking all the jokes away, taking all the shit talking away, and so on and so forth. Something that serious, the person that comes up with it deserves and needs to get the credit for it, right? Now, getting away from the super serious shit, right, and just talking about it in regular terms now we have to start actually assessing what is it? What has the FBA movement, the FBA lineage, the FBA classification, the FBA identification done for black people? We hadn't done shit, bro. We hadn't done shit. And it's done nothing but make the fucking delineation that's already existed. Okay. You had the Pan-Africans, and you know, I'm blackity black because I'm black, y'all. And most of us know, like, bro, I'm not African. I'm of African descent, but I've never claimed to be. I never wanted to be African. Okay. Most black people the same way, never claimed to be, never wanted to be African. You know the difference. Again, we came up with nigga African booty scratcher, nigga. We came up with that shit. So it's not something that most American people claimed or aspired to be. So this is why I'm saying this whole delineation talk. Same thing with fucking the jerk niggas. Okay? By jerk niggas, we mean the Caribbean niggas. Jamaican, Barbados, Bahamas, Trinidad, all the jerk niggas, man. All right, we don't want to be them either. That's why we joke their accents and shit. Hey, man, you feel me? So understanding, bro, the importance of and then that's just you. How you niggas hate America? Let's just start that, y'all. You can't be foundationally black American, but then, man, fuck the white man and America with 3 Ks and this racist country. Which is it, brother? You can't have you playing both sides against the middle, top and the bottom. What the fuck we got going on? How the hell are you gonna be a foundationally black American, but you hate America? Because the white man, racism, white supremacy. You can't have it all fucking 3 ways, bro. This shit is crazy. It really is. Yeah, and look, the marriages, bro. The marriage, look, this marriage shit, bro, is gonna be at least the very, very sad part about it. I don't even know if we'll live to see the resurgence of black marriage. I mean, and you know, black person to black person marriage start rising consistently again. It's all fucking promoted, projected to be on a negative at least through 2030, right? You're literally gonna have the this Gen A, whatever comes after Gen Z, you're literally gonna have to have them, right? Get the ideology of marriage and get married at a very, 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 very high rate, right? And then pass that down on to the next, I don't know how many generations for black people to turn this shit around, bro. Marriage is cooked. The only thing saving the marriage numbers are the black men marrying out to other women. And quiet is kept. The new black is actually going to be a thing because more and more brothers are starting to date and mate out because other women finally see that all the fucking shit that was said against black men were lies and purposeful propaganda to keep them away from them, to keep them away from us. I'm sorry. Okay. All these women are starting to understand and see globally, here first, but also globally, that the American black man is a more than suitable man to marry and start a family with. Who, the FBA niggas? You wildin'. You saying the FBA is closeted Trump supporters? You definitely wildin', brother. My little cousin just got engaged, so it's nobody. I'm not surprised, man. Well, no, the code is this is the problem with that, and this is why I'm saying it's just unrealistic, right? Because again, shout out to the Passport Bros, but the Passport Bros is again a very, very small movement. So what's going to happen is, I'm telling you, a lot of these women that are here, and Hispanic women especially, that's about to be a booming fucking what's the name here shortly, because I know it's more Hispanic women, or more Hispanics than blacks now, right? You said we all look like Clay and stuff. No. It'll always be that. But I mean, you definitely gonna have more Rui Hachimuras and Tiger Woods though. Yeah, that's just my take on it, man. Listen, at the end of the day, you FBA niggas gotta stop. Okay, if you're over, I'll say 35 years old, bro, and you're just so gun ho and die hard for fucking FBA, I challenge your intelligence. I challenge a lot of things about you. Okay, being that you grown as fuck, and somebody comes around saying some fucking rhetoric or whatever, so on and so forth, and you just join the club because we black, we all black, we American black. The fuck going on here, man? What are we doing? Who? FBAs, brother? Where are these level of FBAs at that you're talking about? The FBA movement is not conservative at all, fam. Again, brother, the degenerate Sharingan. The FBA movement has had two very out and loud LGBT representatives, brother. Okay, no. Yeah, no, bro. That's a no go at all. Yeah, man. Listen, if that's the route you want to take it. But I just seriously, most men are not going to be. Most men are not going to be traveling out of the country for wives, bro, and families. This is not going to be the case. Shout out to those that do, the very small percentage that do. But speaking of which, well, we here now. I just show this shit. Listen, man, we got it. Listen, wherever Unc at, bro, lock him up. Wherever the fuck Unc at, bro, lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Wherever Unc is, bro, he got to be stopped. He cannot be allowed to come back. Revoke his passport and keep him wherever he at. Don't let him come back, man. Do not let him come back. Don't let him on the plane. Don't let him through customs.
Can I ask you something? Sure. Okay. Have you tried Lady Boy?
Not yet. Are you a lady boy? If you're a lady boy, yeah, I want you.
Hey, man, cancel all this paperwork. All of it. Do not let this man back over here. As a matter of fact, you might need to play the music for this thing.
You think I'm a lady or a lady boy?
It don't make no difference with you.
No?
No difference.
And can I ask you something?
Aunt gotta go, man. Aunt gotta go, man. Aunt cannot be let back on that plane, man. Nah, leave him over there. That's clearly where he want. That's clearly where he want to be. Okay. Diabolical. But anyway, man, no, brother, that's real. That's not no AI, brother. That is real, brother. That is real. But anyway, man, listen. I greatly appreciate y'all pull up on me. Thursday throwdowns, bro. That's something we doing. Hopefully y'all won't be scary next time. Pull up, or I just have to procure the panel or whatever beforehand. The panel shit is popping, man. Shout out to Fatty, Ali, whatever. That's the shit that everybody's watching, and people watching reviews of panels. Okay. I appreciate y'all, bro. I'm never gonna do that, but again, you got to play the game the way the game is going in order to, be relevant and shit. So, I got to get my own panel or whatever going. So, like I said, if you want to participate, you're willing to cam up, you got some time to kill or whatever on Thursday night, by all means, hit me up. If you know somebody that want to participate, men and women, black, white, purple, or polka dotted, it don't matter. Liberal, conservative, religious, atheist, it don't matter, man. Like I said, we're gonna be doing the difficult, tough topics, and hopefully to have some wonderful conversations. But anyway, man, hey, let me see. What is the difference between the white Christian nationalists and FBA? That's a great question. Well, I don't know. The white Christian nationalists, I don't think the white Christian nationalist is doing such a big deal to separate white people for real, except for the, people from Israel. So I think the only thing they have the separation for is for people from Israel, not like all of the Italians and the Swedes and the Germans and, my understanding. But hey, I could be wrong. No, it is not. The code is not, brother. We're not buying it. It's not the same as saying that, brother. The term freedmen's already existed, brother. It's not the same as saying that. If that was the case, you would have just fucking trademarked freedmen or repurposed the word freedmen's, brother. Foundational Black American is just what the progenitor and the trademarker said it is, fam. It's a representation of an entire lineage of people, and so on and so forth. With that being said, hey, greatly appreciate y'all pull up on me, man. Miss Fantastic 824 on all social media platforms. That's that on that one. Catch y'all on the next one. Holla, we out.